Hello, thank you for meeting with me today. I know that insurance can feel overwhelming, but my job is to help you cut through the noise and land on a plan that helps keep you covered without wrecking your budget. Now, you might be thinking, why work with me instead of just going online or talking to another agent? And that's a fair question. And I want to show you exactly what makes this worth your time. Here's how I would like to run our chat. First, I'll introduce myself and tell you a little about who I am and how I can help you. Then I'll ask you a few questions to better understand your needs. From there, we'll look at different plans side by side so you can see what makes the most sense for you. And just so you know, working with me doesn't cost you anything extra. Your premiums are set no matter where you get your insurance from. What I do is make the process smoother. I'll walk you through the application, keep tabs on it, and make sure you don't miss out on any discounts or any government help that you might qualify for. Just taking a little bit to introduce myself. My name's Erica Huffstetler, and I'm a licensed health and life insurance producer here in Arizona. With 20 plus years in healthcare and pharmacy, I bring the expertise to help you find the right coverage that you need. I am contracted with all of the top carriers for health, United Healthcare, Amber, Pivot, Aetna, Life Insurance, Transamerica, Ethos, Mutual of Omaha. I also have access to dental, vision, access, and critical illness plans. I work with Health Markets Insurance Agency, and we are licensed in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. What sets us apart is that we're not tied to just one company. I have access to multiple trusted carriers, which lets us build coverage that's truly complete. And here's the thing, most people don't realize that there is no single plan that can protect you from every angle. That's why it's essential to look at how different products can work together. Skipping one piece of the protection can leave major gaps, and I couldn't live with myself if we overlooked something that could save you from financial stress later on down the road. So today, I want us to cover each part of your protection because real peace of mind only comes when all of the pieces fit together. Most people want choices when it comes to their insurance, and that's for a good reason. One company alone can't possibly meet all of your needs. That's why I work with a big lineup of trusted carriers. Not all of them are on the exchange, and not all of them offer every type of plan. But here's the key. Having access to many companies means we can piece together the right mix for you. And honestly, that mix is essential. If we only looked at one product, you'd be walking away with gaps in your protection. I don't ever want to have you be in that position. My job is to make sure that you have the most complete coverage that you need to protect your family and your peace of mind. You invited me here to help you examine your healthcare options, and that will be the focus of our discussion today. Once I have a clear understanding of your family's needs and budget, I can show you different options that give you strong protection while still fitting into your budget. It's not just about picking one product. It's essential to fill all three key components: health, supplemental, and life insurance. When those pieces work together, you get the best coverage and the peace of mind that nothing important has been left out. Think of it like a three-legged stool. If one is missing, the whole stool topples over. The same is true with your coverage. Life insurance in particular cannot wait. It protects your family's future in ways that health coverage alone never can. As we look at solutions today, I'll explain why each piece matters and how they fit together to give you complete protection. Life changes all the time. Some changes are happy, like a marriage or a new baby, but others hit out of nowhere, like an injury, accident, or a diagnosis. That's why what I do goes way beyond just helping people pick a health plan. My goal is to make sure you're protected in every area that matters: your health, your paycheck, and your family. I call this protection for life. And honestly, I can't just cover one piece and ignore the rest. If we don't talk about all three, your health, your income, and your family, then there are gaps, and that means risk. And I don't want you or your family left unprotected. Our insurance needs don't stay the same. What makes sense at 30 isn't what we'll need at 45, and it won't be the same at 65 either. That's why I'm not just here to get you into a health plan today and then walk away. My goal is to stick with you long term, making sure your coverage always matches where you're at in life. And if I do my job right, I hope that you will think of me when someone that you care about needs help with their insurance as well. Here's what I mean by protection for life. Step one is health insurance, the major medical plan that covers your doctor visits, hospital stays, and prescriptions. That's just the foundation. But here's the problem: health insurance doesn't cover your paycheck. If you're sick or injured, the bills don't stop. That's where supplemental coverage comes in. It pays cash directly to you, so you can keep paying your mortgage, car payment, or even just keep food on the table while you recover. And the last piece, life insurance. If something happens to you, your family needs protection too. At the very least, a term life policy should be in place. From there, you can always upgrade to a whole life or an IUL policy if that makes sense for you and your long-term goals. So, when I say protection for life, I mean protecting your health, your income, and your family. Anything less leaves dangerous gaps. My job is to help you build a custom plan that fits your budget but gives you peace of mind that all three areas are covered. Moving on to the Affordable Care Act. The new health care law, sometimes called Obamacare, was passed by Congress in 2010. There are several protections under the health reform you should be made aware of. Lifetime limits are prohibited, and the annual limits are restricted on most covered benefits. You cannot be refused insurance or charged more because of a pre-existing condition. Children up to age 26 may remain on a parent's policy. Preventative services must be covered and cannot have cost sharing. Many people are now eligible for help with their health insurance premiums through tax credits called subsidies. All individual and small group health plans are required to include certain essential health benefits. Those benefits include coverage on ambulatory patient services, emergency services, hospitalization, maternity and newborn care, and more. The health insurance marketplace, federal and state-operated insurance exchanges, opened on October 1st, 2013. The federal or state exchange is the official website for people to purchase qualified insurance policy. You should note that the ACA does not require anyone to purchase health insurance through the exchange, although subsidies will only be available for plans that are sold there. We can talk about plans that are available both on exchange and off exchange when I explain a little bit more about the subsidies or the tax credits. Marketplace plans come in 4 levels: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Bronze has the lowest monthly premium, but only covers about 60% of costs, so you'll pay more when you do use it. Silver plans cover about 70% and often are the best value because they're the only level that qualifies for extra cost sharing reductions. That means if your income falls in a certain range, the government helps pay more of your out of pocket costs, lowering your deductibles, copays, and coinsurance. Gold and platinum plans cover more, around 80% to 90%, but you'll pay higher premiums each month. The key is finding the level that fits both your health needs and your budget, and that's what we're here to do. Even though open enrollment for 2025 is closed, you might still be able to get coverage through a special enrollment period. That happens when you go through certain life changes, like getting married or divorced, having or adopting a child, moving, gaining citizenship, or leaving, or incarceration. Losing other insurance, whether it's a job coverage, COBRA, your parents' plan, or Medicaid. The point is that if something in your life changes, you may not have to wait until the next open enrollment. You can qualify to get covered right away. Now, let's take a few minutes to talk about what kind of health insurance benefits you're really looking for. The exchange was created to give individuals and small businesses a way to shop for coverage online. You don't have to buy your insurance there, but keep in mind, subsidies are only available through the exchange, and subsidies can extend higher than you might think. For example, a family of four making up to $94,000 a year could still qualify for tax credits. Sometimes that credit is small, but it can make a real difference. As we go through this, I want us to look beyond just health insurance. Because as I've said before, health coverage is the foundation, but it doesn't take care of everything. Together, we'll see if we can build in protection that helps with out of pocket costs if an illness or accident happens. That way, you're not left exposed financially. A major medical event can create financial problems that go way beyond the hospital bill. In fact, studies have shown that medical debt contributes to about 2/3 of all bankruptcies in the US. And here's the surprising part, most of those people already had health insurance. Even outside of bankruptcy, millions of adults still struggle to pay medical bills every year. That means health insurance alone doesn't always protect you financially. This is why I stress the importance of having more than just health insurance. You also need coverage that helps with the out of pocket costs, so you're not left wondering how you'll pay your bills while you're trying to recover. When I first introduced the idea of protection for life, I explained that real protection means covering your health, your income, and your family. Even with good health insurance, an accident or illness can still create financial stress. If you're lying awake at night wondering how you'll pay your deductible, cover your coinsurance, or replace lost income while you recover, that's a sign of a gap. Supplemental plans are designed to fill that gap. They pay cash benefits directly to you when you're sick or injured, so you can focus on getting better instead of worrying about those bills. Let's take a few minutes to look at how these plans can fit into your protection for life strategy. The last piece of the protection for life is life insurance. Here's the truth. 70% of families with kids would struggle to pay their bills within 3 months if the breadwinner died, and nearly half would be in trouble right away. Now, job-based life insurance sounds good, but it's not enough. Most policies only cover a year or two of salary, and if you leave that job, the coverage does not follow you. By the time you try to buy your own policy later, Your premiums are going to be much higher because you are older now. That's why I recommend having a personal life insurance policy now, so your family is protected no matter where you work and you can lock in affordable rates while you still can. I mentioned earlier that Protection for Life plan includes at least term life insurance. But let's be honest, would that be enough to truly protect your family? If not, I can quickly help you figure out the right amount of life insurance based on your situation. I use tools called the DIME approach. I take debt, income, mortgage, and education to calculate what your family would actually need. And don't worry, even if you decide on a higher amount, your overall plan will still be custom built for your budget. Now that we've talked through some of the basics, my job is to help you put together a protection for life plan that makes sense for you. I don't see myself as an insurance agent. Think of me as more of a benefits advisor. That means I help you sort through the choices and we find what really works without wasting time or money on things that you don't need. So let's go ahead and walk through the fact finder together. That'll give me some details and I can start building the right plan for you.